Hello everybody, and everybody? Is that what I said? Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video here on Internet Nobodies. I'm your host, James, and this week we're going to be continuing our playthrough of Euro Truck Simulator 2. So this is the third episode in a row that I am recording, because why the hell not? It's only 10 p.m. We can help you grow from the bank. Dear Sir/Madam, we couldn't help but notice your steady earnings and we would like to assist you with developing your potential even further. Your credit limit has been raised to $500,000. Feel free to draw from the available sum anytime at your local bank Centre. Respectfully, Sales Manager at Bank. Thank you, Sales Manager at Bank. I will keep that in mind. I'm going to go onto the job market though. I'm going to do large tubes from Luxembourg to Dijon, Cologne to Stratford. What's something cool? Is there something cool I could deliver? Ooh, ketchup. I do love me some ketchup, and I've never been to Dortmund. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Fuck it. Sure. Take job. I'm not into this to actually make money. Even though I'll make plenty of money off of that. So I still have my list of questions pulled up that I will still be addressing. Ooh, hold on. Gotta take my preliminary check. There's orange in this seat. It reminds me of a gaming chair, so that means this truck will go faster. 2 cup holders facing me for some reason. That's interesting. 24-volt adapter. Weird back seat like that. I'm sure there's another one on the other side. I'm sure that's like a bed up there if you're doing co-driving, so one person can sleep while the other drives. Maybe, I don't know, it seems a little small for that. Okay. A little bit of Z fighting there on that trailer. Okay, overall, this isn't bad. I don't have a thing for cruise control, do I? Oh, yeah, I have to actually put it in gear. Where am I going to get out of here? I'm going this way. I do love me some ketchup, though, so I do think it's fitting that I am delivering some. I don't think there's anyone coming. There is not. I'm just gonna sit my butt here. Because there's way too much traffic for this. So question 25 on here. I know I'm not going in order. I don't know why I'm saying the actual question number. But who is your favorite entertainer, comedian, musician, actor, etc.? So I actually want to address all of those. So my favorite comedian, I'm going to go with a stand-up comedian because I don't think other comedians are really all that funny. It depends on the person, obviously. So I have a bunch of favorite stand-up comedians, honestly. I love Jim Gaffigan. He is just a funny person. And he seems like a genuinely good dude, honestly. That's a big part of it for me. If they seem like a genuinely good person, then I am going to be a little more likely to actually like them. But I love his comedy. Mark Normand, he's another stand-up comic that I really enjoy. I love the way that he delivers what he is saying. I love the way he's presenting. It's just so sarcastic, and I love it, and it's also a fair bit, self-deprecating, too, which I'm a fan of self-deprecating humor. Josh Johnson, he's a bigger, but also a smaller stand-up comic. He has a couple of stand-up specials that I have really enjoyed. Maybe not specials, they're like 10-15 minutes that I've really, really liked. He's older than I am, but he seems like a little kid. But he's really funny. I like him. Who else? I think that's it that I can think of offhand. Sean Patton can be funny. He has a couple of stand-ups that I've watched that are really good. My favorite is the one that he did on Cumin, or Cumin, as he says. That one was genuinely delightful. There's a stand-up that I saw on the Dry Bar Comedy YouTube channel. He did one about his wife that was really funny. And very relatable, even as someone that is not married. Well, I'm essentially married at this point. But no, stuff was all genuinely really funny. What was next? Musician. So, favorite musicians. I don't really know the musicians all that well, but I can talk about bands. I love Dream Evil. They're probably my favorites. They are a Swedish power metal band. I love so many of their songs. A lot of them are just so good. I'm a big fan of Amon Amarth, which is Viking metal, or I think as they prefer to be called, like melodic death metal. I need gas. Why do none of these trucks have fucking gas in them? And I missed that. Enter. Oh, what else? Dream Evil. I've been enjoying Hammerfall a lot lately. I haven't really listened to them a whole lot until now. I'm still in reverse. I can turn that off. Ailstorm, I've been really enjoying. Gloryhammer is an outstanding music group. They make really good songs. One of the things that I was really drawn to. And this actually goes for the first Dream Evil album. It was a story. From song to song, it was some sort of story. Dream Evil, their first album, was called Dragon Slayer. It has what looks like a predator on it. It was about this kingdom and their dragons and shit. It wasn't a super cohesive story, but it had something there. Gloryhammer, they have 3 albums so far. The first album is this kingdom back in 992 AD. There's magic and shit. Then the next album takes place in the same world in 1992. There's a lot more advancements in technology, but there's also still magic and everything. The evil wizard that was thrown into a pool of liquid ice in the first album is not resurrected, but he revives. At the end of the album, actually, it's kind of cool because in this album you see like updated terms. Like the Knights of Krail were the Knights of the original Kingdom of Dundee. They in the future, now that they are the Space Knights of Krail, which, you know, it's the same premise, but it's updated, which I actually think is really cool. It's an intergalactic war and everything too, which is awesome. And then the third album, which I liked at first, but I got more into as I've listened to it more. Might be the best album. But takes place, it's either back in time or in a different dimension, or maybe both even. The evil wizard at the end of the second album went into this portal, going into a different dimension, and I suppose back in time. And he reigns over this kingdom in the past, and it's just kind of fucked up, and you see a lot of the knights, or a lot of the terms and everything are updated into a bad sense. Like the Knights of Krail, instead of being a force for good, are now the Death Knights of Krail, ruled over by Zargathrax, which is the wizard. But then there's also things that go across a couple of the albums, like the Hootsman, who is essentially like a demigod, who fights with Angus MacPhife, who is... Okay, so Angus MacPhife is the hero from the first album, and his descendant, Angus MacPhife the 13th, is the one that you follow in the second and third albums. But the Hootsman fights alongside Angus MacPhife at the end of the third album, and it's actually really awesome. I have spent way too long talking about Glory Hammer albums, and you know what? Thinking about it, Glory Hammer might be my favorite band. Just kind of came to that realization. But there's a lot that I listen to, but it's mostly metal. That being said, Dream Evil still has some of the best songs out there, like The Book of Heavy Metal, and Chosen Ones, and Children of the Night. Bloodbound is another band, actually, that I started listening to last year, I think when I was still at Walmart. So not last year, the year before. Yeah, I was listening to them then. They have some really good songs. They're power metal as well, so they have the old school flair behind them. But they make some really good stuff. One of my favorite songs that they've done is Nosferatu. Not that I am a particularly huge fan of the Nosferatu story. The song is just really good. And they have others that are really good as well, like Satanic Panic is really good. In the Name of Metal, which is actually the song that I got copyright struck on for the Brutal Legend video here on Internet Nobodies, back when it was still TGRS. But no, there's just a lot of good songs that they've done. And then actors, honestly, I don't really have any actors I would say are my favorite, really. I am a big fan of Chris Hemsworth. He is a beautiful, beautiful man. I can only wish to be like him. And I love his portrayal of Thor in the later Marvel movies. Actually, even in Thor and the Dark World, like, honestly, I like Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I like Chris Evans. I like Robert Downey Jr., and this is all in the lens of the Marvel movies, which is my main touchstones for these people. Who else? I like David Tennant. I wish I would have seen him in a little bit more, but I really loved his portrayal of the Doctor in Doctor Who. Who else? That's all I can really think of offhand. I'm sure there's more. That's... Honestly, I've spent a lot of time talking about that, so I'm going to move on. Actually, I'm going to take a drink real quick. Soda is probably not the best thing to be drinking, but I'm an adult. What is the strangest dream you've ever had? So, not ever had, but this is actually the dream that I had last night. So basically, what it was, I was in school. I was an adult, so I assume I was in college. Like, I'm basically the same age as I am now, so I assume I was in college of some sort, which I don't go to college, so that's not likely. But that's my best guess for it. A friend of mine from middle school, who I haven't talked to since middle school, was in the dream, and he was essentially flirting with me, which was strange. I was like, yeah, you know, whatever, we're on like a field trip, I guess. And then we got back from the field trip, and my clothes were missing. I was in gym clothes for some reason. And I was trying to find them, and I was with a buddy of mine that I worked with at the second KFC I was at, that I was pretty good friends with. And I guess we were just, like, chilling like that. And then the main coworker I had at the... Fuck you, dude. At the jerky kiosk that I worked at, he was in the dream, and he asked me out to go to the dance, which I guess there was a dance at the school. And I'm like, no, I have to run it by my girlfriend, but, you know, we can always go as friends. And he was all, like, confused. And then I think there was an explosion in there. That was by far one of the strangest dreams I've had in a while. I do want to throw this out there. I'm not gay. I'm not bi. I'm not anything. I'm pretty confident in my straightness. In my sexuality, I should say. So it was very strange that I guess I had not only one, but 3 men into me in one dream was weird. Actually, all 3 of which I'm pretty sure are straight. The second one I'm not entirely certain about. But that was very strange, and when I woke up, I immediately sent it to Aaliyah, like, what the fuck? So yeah, it was an interesting dream, needless to say. What is a controversial opinion that you have? There's way too many. Who in your life brings you the most joy? Aaliyah. Who had the big one? Where do you spend most of your free time / day? In front of my computer. How often do you stay up past 3 a.m.? I never do because I work a fucking day job. If I could justify staying up until 3 a.m., honestly, I would. But I'm working 50 plus hours a week with a schedule that does not really complement the 3 a.m. lifestyle that well. That being said, I would love to. What's your favorite season and why? Winter is my favorite season. I love the snow and I love the cold. Every other season is way too hot for me. Also, driving in the snow is not that hard. People make too big of a deal out of it. Which is more important, having a great car or a great house? Why? Having a great house, honestly, cars can come and go, but a house is going to be a much longer term investment. So if you have a nicer one from the get-go, that'll be better. Plus, you're going to be spending your free time in your house, ideally, more so than your car. I think I need to be in this lane. Trying to find a good question. Where and when was the most amazing sunset you've ever seen? So that was in Arizona. I saw the sunset there with Aaliyah at the Grand Canyon. And honestly, that was a really awesome day, and it was a really awesome sunset. What is something that really annoys you but doesn't bother most people? Parking spots. So this is a hill that I will absolutely die on. I am a big advocate of habit. If I can, I will park in the same parking spot every time I go somewhere every single day. So I work at a mall. I always park far away. It's not like I park near people. Honestly, I really hate people. So it's honestly just better for me anyway, so I can make sure I stay away from them. So basically, this older woman who worked at one of the stores nearby, she is a sweet lady, but I genuinely hated her for this. She would park in my spot. And I would get very mad about it, but you know what, I'd just park in the spot next to her. It's not like I actually said anything to her about it. And she's an older lady, so it's like, you know, you really shouldn't be parking in this spot. We're like half a mile from the fucking doors. Like, what's your problem? But this went on for like weeks. She would park in my spot. Or if I got there first, I would fucking park in that spot, and then she would park right next to me, which I also dislike heavily. When in a completely empty parking lot, people park next to me. But then, after a while, she started to park in the spot next to mine. I, which made me feel awesome because I won that War of Wills. And of course I missed the fucking light. That is a story I'm incredibly proud of. I ended up working with her a little bit later at Le Creuset, which I really enjoyed as a job. But yeah, no, she took my parking spot and I genuinely hated her for it. As my former boss Tim could speak to, I would fume walking into work because she was in my spot. I'm like fucking Sheldon Cooper in Big Bang Theory. Like, I care about my spot, and everyone else is like, it's just a spot. I'm like, well, it's my fucking spot, okay? If it's just a spot, why does everyone else want to park there, you know? Obviously, for other places, that's less of an issue because I'm not parking there every day. Like, at Walmart, there is a place that I do like to park, but I'm not there every day. I can always park nearby that spot. When I worked there, that was another issue entirely, but for the most part, I always got my spot. Man, I am talking a lot. Okay, I'm almost there. I'll be able to do a quick run. I'm going to use faith. And I bumped it. That's fine. And I missed it. Oh, come on. Of course I'm right next to it. Play it safe, like always. It says head towards the red flag on my map, but the map isn't there. Cool. No. T. What the fuck? Why are they still moving? There we go. That was strange. What did I hit? R? I must have hit an R. Hitting? Yeah. I'm almost level 4. Continue. Oh. Okay. I will do one more run, and then I am done for the night. Because A, my phone is dying, B, I'm running out of not patience, I'm getting tired. Route length. Are those short? I don't remember if those are the short ones. Wait, that's way too short. I'm not gonna... That's into the same fucking city. I'm not doing that. There we go. I don't remember what it was. Lumber, that's what it was. From Geneva to Bern. I already had this truck. No, I have not, actually. This is nice. I like the curtain. Like, that's a weird thing to like. Big ol' speakers. They got bumping sound system here. Ooh, I like that little table there. Okay. Cruise control. Alright. Oh. I keep forgetting that I need to put the car in, or the truck into drive. Ugh. Awesome. So let's see. Oh, that person almost hit me. How dare they? Oh, I'm very close to the road. Really? Are you gonna fucking go or what? Oh, there's so much traffic. How am I supposed to go that way if there's so much traffic? What are some things you want to accomplish before you die? I want to write my book. I want Internet Nobodies to become a big thing so I can, like, not work anymore. Why is he not going? Is he letting me go? If he is, I appreciate that. Dude, you fucking let me go! Yeah, that's basically it as far as I can think of. Ugh. Let's see, what weird or useless talent do I have? No, that's not a good question, actually. Man. I don't see a whole lot of questions on here that I'm interested in. I guess I answered all the good ones. And all these are TV-related questions, which I've already established. I don't watch television a whole lot. Movie conversation starters. Might be good. Okay, interesting. What movie scene choked you up the most? So I'm going to rephrase this into just... Ooh, my lights are not on. I'm going to rephrase this into just, like, what scene made me cry the most. And as I've gotten older, movies have been hitting me harder and harder, I feel. I guess I'm just more mature so I can, attach to the movies a little bit better. But... Oh, this is a tough one. So many parts of Avengers Endgame made me cry. Like, just straight up. The movie's a couple of years old, but I'm not really going to say a whole lot. But, like, the main death at the end of the movie really got to me. His funeral really got to me. The Avengers Assemble scene really got to me. Like, it wasn't sad, but it was one of those things that was just, like, so beautiful, it made me almost cry. Actually, it did make me cry. Honestly, with that, I could lead into with Spider-Man Homecoming. I've always been a huge Spider-Man fan. He's always been my favorite superhero. And I grew up with the Tobey Maguire movies. I watched some of the old 90s cartoon. It's like, I've always been a pretty big fan. Just the introductory fanfare of Spider-Man Homecoming, where they're playing the orchestral version of the Spider-Man theme, the that brought a tear to my eye. I was in the movies with my friend Kyle, and like, that happened, and it was just so, like, glorious that it brought a tear to my eye. The only other Spider-Man movie I had seen in the theaters was Spider-Man 3 when I was a little kid. So it really got to me. Oh my god, these guys are going slow. I could also say the ending of Stranger Than Fiction has always got me. That's such a good movie. It's a Will Ferrell movie where it's not like an overt comedy. It's just a really good flick all around. It was very well written. The acting performance in it is very strong. It's just a good movie all around. Do you like documentaries? Why or why not? Entirely depends on the documentary. I don't really watch a whole lot, but I did watch one a few years ago on the Ulfberth sword, which is the main, like, quote-unquote Viking sword. That was a really good documentary. I really enjoyed that. And I'm also a really big fan of, what is it? There's this documentary series on Amazon Prime about Greek mythology. I love mythology. But then there was one that I saw that was about, Pepsi versus Coke. It was a fine documentary. It wasn't that good. And of course I watched it because I, drink a lot of soda. When was the last time you went to a movie theater? I don't remember what we saw. I went with Aaliyah. It's been a while, obviously. I've been working a lot, plus COVID. I don't remember what we saw. We saw something. Oh, shoot. I don't remember. So I guess I'll skip that a little bit. What was the last movie you watched? How was it? The last movie I watched was... Oh, that was my fault. I'll admit that. The last movie I watched was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah, I have it on my computer. I'm like, you know what, I might as well watch it, and I did, and I enjoyed it. Despite J.K. Rowling being a trash human being lately, I still genuinely enjoy the content. That being said, because she has been a trash human being, I don't think I'm ever going to cover another piece of Harry Potter content on Internet Nobodies, which is a bummer. Just because I have spent so much of my life loving that world. But I'm going to let my pesky morals get into the way. That being said, I don't mind watching a pirated version of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban that I took off of my old boss's hard drive. I say took like he didn't let me do it. Do movies have the same power as books to change the world? I feel like books do not have the power to change the world, just because it seems like people are reading less and less. That being said, audiobooks are growing rapidly as a way of consuming the literary medium that I feel is perfectly valid. I am a big advocate for audiobooks. It is a slightly different experience, but I cannot really sit down and read a whole lot anymore, especially because, I do spend a lot of my time doing other stuff. So I would prefer to have it read to me so I can still get the experience of going through the story while being able to do other stuff. That's fine. Okay, hold on. One more question. Oh, there wasn't like a favorite movie. I would have said Stranger Than Fiction. What book genres do you like to read? I am a really big fan of fantasy. That's almost exclusively what I read. In one way or another, at least, like Harry Potter. The Percy Jackson books were a absolute favorite of mine as a child. And even as an adult, those books are still actually pretty decent. His other books, not so much, unfortunately. But I have read them within the last couple of years to make sure that, I'm looking at them with a non-biased eye. And while they have aged a little bit, they are still overall enjoyable. I'm gonna do another long distance one. Yeah, mostly fantasy. I've read a couple of science fiction books. I actually, for a while, got really into Dan Brown books. And I went through a few Michael Crichton books. That was mostly when I was with housekeeping at the mall, where I had plenty of time to just, listen to a bunch of stuff and not really interact with people a whole lot, because I'm mostly just cleaning. Now my job is literally selling all day. I mean, today I had maybe 20 total minutes to, like, sit and just listen to my stuff. Boo-hoo bummer, I work a full-time job. It could be worse, though. Anyways, though, I may actually record another episode because I'm really into answering some of these questions at the moment. I just need to make sure I plug in my phone. Thank you so much for watching. If you folks enjoyed, please let me know down below. Please leave me any questions that you want me to answer down below as well. I will get to them maybe when I do a batch of recordings after some of these go out. Anyways, though, thank you again, and we will see you all in the next one.